Topic is reading recovery. I'm Ian Murray.
And I'm Hannah Gloszewski.
Active engagement. To start, we would like you to visit the following YouTube link. The video shows a specialized reading instructor working one-on-one using the breaking words technique. While watching, think about what reading recovery is all about.
This is a word that you know. I'm going to hand you the letters. Say the name of the letter and put it on the board.
E-L-A-C.
Oops, sorry.
Black.
Sometimes when we have a word, right, we have a blend at the beginning. We have to say the two sounds of the letters together. Ooh. Ack. Black. You break it.
Black.
Very good. It's easy to break a word when we look at the parts that we know.
Activate prior knowledge. Take about a minute to think of something you've done individually with another student to improve their reading abilities. Vocabulary preview. Reading recovery is a highly effective short-term intervention of one-on-one tutoring for low-achieving first graders. Running record, a tool that helps teachers to identify patterns in student reading behaviors. These patterns allow a teacher to see the strategies a student uses to make meaning of individual words and texts as a whole. Intervention is an early assistance provided to children who are having difficulty learning. Remedial reading is an education designed to assist students to achieve expected academic skills.
What is reading recovery? Reading recovery is a short-term intervention that goes on for 12 to 20 weeks. It is one-on-one tutoring that occurs between a specialized reading instructor and a low-performing student. Reading recovery is most effective paired with classroom instruction. It is only used with the bottom 20% of students in first grade.
In our video, you will see a demonstration that is a one-on-one tutoring session occurring between a student and a specialized reading instructor. This is a short-term intervention that lasts for 30 minutes, every day for 12 to 20 weeks. Hi, Ian. Today we're going to be reading The Paperboy again. We read this last time, but today, as you read, I'm going to be taking some notes on what you are reading. You can begin whenever you're ready.
The mornings of the paper boy are still dark, and they are always cold, even in the summer.
Break this word up into two separate parts. What's the first part of the word say?
Summer. Even in the summer. And on these cold mornings, the paper boy's bed is still warm, and it is always hard to get out.
What's this beginning sound make it say?
Out. Hard to get out, even for his dog.
Very good.
But they do, and softly, they step down the quiet hall, past the door where the paper boy's father and mother are sleeping. Past the door, past the door where his sister is asleep,
Good job.
and down to the kitchen where they eat from their bowels.
Sound out the beginning. What sound does the O make?
Oh, bowls.
Mhm.
And out to the garage.
Great. Break it up into two different parts. What's the first part sound like?
Garage.
Mm-hmm.
And out to the garage where they quickly fold their papers, snapping on green rubber. They step down the quiet hall, past the door where the paper boy's father and mother are sleeping. Past the door, past the door where his sister is asleep,
Good job.
and down to the kitchen where they eat from their bowels.
Sound out the beginning. What sound does the O make?
Oh, bowls.
Mhm.
And out to the garage.
Great. Break it up into two different parts. What's the first part sound like?
Garage.
Mm-hmm.
And out to the garage where they quickly fold their papers, snapping on green rubber
Mm-hmm.
bands, and placing them in a large red bag.
Great job. Okay, so now I'm going to have you write 1 to 2 sentences about what you learned in that story. There you go.
About the paper boy?
About the paper boy.
time.
Okay, very good. So next time, I think we're going to read The Paperboy again, but I'm also going to introduce to you a new short story that we'll be reading as well.
Article 1. In my article, it reviewed how reading recovery is an excellent model to promote intervention throughout an educational system. Within the article, it talked about how early intervention and reading recovery has a variety of positive effects not only on the students' literacy skills, but their alphabetic skills and their general reading achievement. It also talks about the effectiveness of reading recovery program. The reading recovery program has many positive effects for struggling students.
The second article discusses three main things in reading recovery. The first thing is rereading, which recovers through reading recovery. Through tutoring sessions, students will read short stories and then reread them in following tutoring sessions. The second thing is magnetic letters. Students use magnetic letters to spell and sound out words. Students add various endings to change the word. The third thing is 1 to 2 sentence stories. Students write short 1 to 2 sentence stories to help with writing skills.
Anticipate and clarify confusion. In the demo, you observed Ian struggling to sound out words, which affected his comprehension of the story, The Paperboy. To clear up any confusion, the teacher can have the student reread the story or help the student sound out words, as you saw the specialized reading instructor do throughout the demo.
Differentiated instruction. One way to differentiate instruction is by having various book levels that are directed towards students' different reading abilities. Another way to differentiate instruction is to focus tutoring time on specific needs of the students. If the student needs help with writing, more time may be spent on writing short stories. If a student needs extra assistance with reading, more time may be spent with rereading, and etc. Closure and mnemonic. Reading recovery consists of a variety of things. Some of these are running records, cutting up the sentence, magnetic letters, and rereading. One way to remember these different components are Rachel collects mood rings.
Guided practice. On D2L, we've attached a reading recovery activity where you will visit the attached website link and work with letters to understand how letter and words work together. Students will use magnetic letters to break down words into familiar parts and use the letters to build words.